Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. It is 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles, and it is Thursday, March 6th, AD at 2025. I'm live on Rumble. Looks like I'm live on YouTube. I should be live on... oh, when I said Rumble, I meant D-Live. But I should be live on Rumble as well. Just the Hake report on Rumble. Very nice. Pardon me. What's up, Son of Liberty, LGB? I'm live on multiple platforms, including punchy.tv/Hake. I want to extend my condolences to Trump. He appointed the wrong woman, and every woman is the wrong woman, for the so-called Supreme Court. Am I wrong for saying that? But he appointed or nominated, and the Senate confirmed more easily for her than with any other Supreme Court justice whom he nominated. Amy Coney Barrett. Amy Coney, quote unquote, Barrett. To the Supreme Court, and this woman has been, I heard, according to even like feds, even the feds, or the alleged feds, are admitting, based Jack Posobiec, he's an alleged fed according to some other person, okay? So shout out to Jack Posobiec. I don't know if he's a fed or not, I don't care. I love feds. I talk to feds as much as possible. I'm half kidding about that, but if I love anybody, I love feds, and you should too, okay? So Jack Posobiec said that Amy Barrett has been very much siding with the liberals so frequently. And that was quite predictable. She cried for Georgia, Florida, cried with her black adopted children over the George Floyd mess and phony BLM mess. She's a woman trying to, although she's mildly attractive, the most attractive gal or person, period, on the so-called Supreme Court on the outside. But that's about it. Because she's gone against Trump and against what's right so frequently. So she's as worthless for the court, okay? No human is worthless. Well, that's for God to decide, right? She's sided with all these women for saying, no, Trump, you have to pay these USAID contractors for the work that they did or something like that, even though it was worthless work, and so you have to fork out $2 billion. Justice Alito, an Italian white, shout out Italians, I think it's Italian, he said, what? How does this district judge who said this in the so-called Supreme Court, 5 liberals, including the Reno John Stevens, or no, not John Stevens, John Paul Roberts, not Paul, maybe it's not Paul, John Roberts. I'm mixing up my popes and Supreme Court Chief Justices. Said, oh, how does this person get to tell the president what to do with regard to foreign aid mess? Oh, Congress approved it. So my condolences to our greatest president, Trump, and to the country. Trump, his hand was sort of forced, you know. He was given this list of approved justices and judges and people. He blew it. Every time you hire a woman, he hired Omarosa, and later he had to say that good job to Kelly firing that dog, but good thing he didn't rehire Kelly either, because Kelly is a male. Liberal, John Kelly, another turncoat. It's a mess. But so I'll maybe read this Supreme Court decision a little bit to you. I don't know. I read it to you in Hake News. Maybe I won't bother. But yeah, I agree with Cat number 2, Amy Coney Barrett. Cute though. I mean, she's a married mother of like however many. But whatever. And the United States is negotiating with terrorist Hamas. But Hamas is sort of, they represent, supposedly, the people, for better or worse, the people of Palestine. You know what I mean? So you got to talk to them. Let's make a deal. Oh, I don't negotiate with terrorists. Come off of your high horse. Am I right? It's supposed to be snowy out. Giving you guys a little bit of Hake news. I heard on the radio it's supposed to be snowy out, so I'm showing you some snow from like a little bit less than a year and a half ago from Mount Baldy. The snow level is supposed to go low here in SoCal. In the mountains, Big Bear and elsewhere. Very nice. Very nice. The United States stopped sharing air quality data from embassies and consulates, whatever those are, worldwide. Can you believe it? And I can believe it. It might be like a good thing. Well, this is a waste of money. I heard that Trump stopped, and the scientists are kind of mad, right? Because the scientists are all about getting information, and they want information. They don't care how much it costs. Look at NASA. And I can sympathize with this scientist. I like information too, and facts, and looking at nature. I like it. But they're scaremongering, pretending like it's important. Oh, we give good warnings. We give valid warnings about the air quality. Whatever. All this self-important stuff. And the more you do, the more important you seem to yourself and to everybody. And it's really hamstringing the people who should be looking out for themselves. I think Anchor Baby has talked about that before. About being mama, doing stuff for people, and then they don't do it for themselves. And then when you can't do it or something, then everybody's hamstrung. It's horrible. Don't do so much. Maybe America doesn't need to be doing too much. Some people say, oh, you're doing too much. And I actually feel like I'm understanding that phrase now. Don't do too much. There's also doing not enough, such as to prevent wildfires and forest fires. 9,400 structures destroyed by the Eaton fire. It's ridiculous how deeply that it went into the neighborhood. It shouldn't have gone into the neighborhoods at all, but it destroyed houses, and not just around Eaton Canyon, but also elsewhere. So that's crazy, and that's because of the government doing too much of one thing, but not doing enough of the right thing. Typical. So I think that I'm just about set to go. I will get to your calls as well as your super chats and stuff like that, and some great stories, I think. I wanted to get to some of these points, because I guess I'm not pointing out the obvious, and I should point out the obvious more with regard to these Reddit stories. Reddit is so fascinating to me because of how female the thinking is, and how fake self-reflective these males are with regard, blaming themselves for not accommodating, for failure to accommodate the female's craziness. It's crazy. I'm holding my temples just thinking about it. So anyway, guys, let's just get right on with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
you guys doing? I'm fine. How do you like my manly alpha military army forest green t-shirt bond rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man men's forum tonight t-shirt? I wonder if that's available on the store yet. Let's go to jesseleepeterson.shop. That's the page that's linked from rebuildingtheman.com/stores. You can get your various types of Punchies coffee, it looks like. Ooh, cool. Wow. And then you can get your apparel. And let me just search. Rebuilding. Oh, Lord. I do not see it. We'll have to remedy that. There's some catching up to do. Hake has some catching up to do. Somebody pointed out you can't get his mildly attractive t-shirt from hake.printify.me. And there's also not this t-shirt that's Rebuilding the Family by Rebuilding the Man Bond t-shirt. So look out for that in the future. I'll let you know. So, hey guys, how you guys doing? I am fine. Wearing green doesn't make you militant, Hake. Yeah, I wore manly alpha desert pink. And come on, man, it was like, imagine wearing this color and going on air when I wore the alpha desert pink. Said that in response to this. Where's come on, man? Imagine going on air wearing this color, says come on, man. Go harass this person. Is Brandon M in the chat? Go harass this person, please. Look, somebody else has a beta back. Nice. Okay. I want to get to a call or two here, guys. You can call in 1-888-775-3773. Brett in Reno, Nevada, on the line here. Brett, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How you doing, Hake?
Doing well. How are you, man?
Doing pretty great. I was wanting to kind of talk about, the Democrats' angle in either the Supreme Court or the MSM, as it were.
MSM standing for mainstream media?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are they saying about the Supreme Court?
Well, both MSM and Supreme Court-wise, it seems like they're pulling the same shenanigans that they were trying to pull in 2016. But Trump holds all offices, and I just don't see them getting any traction like they were able to in 2016.
By holding all offices, do you mean he holds all three branches of the government, basically?
Yeah.
All three branches are supposedly conservative majority or Republican majority.
Yeah, at least not, they may still be Reno Republican, but,
Totally. I get you.
I think he has a much better chance this time around. And I think actually if he had won in 2020, we would have been in a terrible place right now because he wouldn't have been able to make any decisions in 2020.
Oh,
Whereas
interesting.
2016. Yeah.
What were you about to say about 2016?
Well, in 2016, he had more than he would have in 2020, but he didn't have as much as he does now.
Yeah.
Like the country really needed to see it get as bad as it did to go like, okay, hey, look, let's just give it back to Trump.
Yeah.
So I feel like, whatever they're trying right now, it's like before, it was almost like the Democrats were working like gears in a clock, and it's like they're trying to do the same thing, but they have no teeth on the gears.
That's
so
interesting.
It's just not getting any traction.
Yeah. And they're so out of control angry, they're spinning their wheels and making themselves look bad, even to unattached observers or moderates,
right.
The so-called moderates, the people who would normally be suckered by their mumbo jumbo. They're so outlandish that I think a lot of people are seeing through their phoniness
I've had a lot of conversations with people who say, "Oh, I don't like talking politics," who now seem to like talking politics, but they don't treat it like politics. They're
Okay.
like, "Oh, it's just crazy what's going on right now and how they're trying to stop Trump." I'm like, I wouldn't have heard that in 2016.
Yeah.
Like, people were afraid to
By
mention
by
his name.
2016, you mean that Trump's first term, 2017 through 2020?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally, man.
That first term, I don't. Do you know who Gavin McInnes is?
Of course.
He created the phrase "being conservative today is like being gay in the 1950s," and I really think he was right. But it's not that way now so much. It's kind of starting to become the culture, which is kind of what I think we needed.
Yeah.
So
I think you're onto something there. Somebody, I don't remember who, but I feel like maybe multiple people have talked about. Oh, I heard it on this guy who is from South Africa. He's an Afrikaner or whatever you call him. He was on the J.S. Lee Peterson show a couple of times years back. He stated that the West, if you will, the America and some of these European countries, and England maybe even, well, mainly Germany, I think, is moving away from this egalitarian mindset a little bit. You know, ever since the 60s or maybe before that, we've been this equality thing. I think that's what he means by egalitarian. All the diversity, all the races, anti-discrimination. And people are seeing that the left, if you will, and the rhinos are being ridiculous about that stuff.
right.
And you can be fair to all people without being anti-racist. And so there's a lot of people who are seeing through that and moving their government away from that, more towards being nationalist again, more towards protecting their borders in their country and stuff. And so the people are seeing through it, and that is influencing the government for the better. Well, I say that it's for the better.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'm biased when I say I think it's better.
Yeah.
But, you know, this is somebody who, like, I'll say this much. I went to art school in, like, 2008 through, like, 2012.
Okay.
And I'd say 2017 through even, like, 2020, it just felt like America was art school. It's just a whole bunch of pretentious people who think their farts smell great, and they just know better, and yet, you know, they'll get all up in themselves and like talk endlessly and have nothing to say.
That's funny, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, I think getting away from that as much as people can is good.
Yeah.
Because it's not a good model for society. It's not a great model for art school either, because there's not a lot of
Totally true, man.
of artists out there.
Yeah. I went to art classes, as you may know, in several years before that, and my favorite classmates, as liberal as they ended up being, but my favorite classmates were pretty direct and frank in their criticisms of one another's stuff. And one of them in particular I'm thinking about actually reminded me of Trump, because he was a what you see is what you get guy. He would say what he thought, and it wasn't personal, and it was constructive criticism, if you will. But it was just criticism. It was valid criticism. Nice.
Yeah. Well, when the criticism actually, you know, works.
Right.
It's perfect. But, you know, it's like just so many like, oh, hey, you know, like, you should, like, how they form their ideas the Liberal Party as it stands, and this is why I don't think they should be in control. Is like, I mean, you saw it, through even 2020 when they call it the Summer of Love. Like, to me, that's some artsy BS.
I literally thought that was just a sarcastic statement that right-wingers used. So liberals called it the Summer of Love, the Black Lives Matter.
That's how they came. Yeah,
terrorism.
It came about because of a news anchor saying, "Oh, it wasn't like a riot. It was like the Summer of Love." And I saw it, and I just went like, "Yeah, same thing." Like, just these disconnected takes.
Yeah.
That,
disconnected from reality. You mean?
100%.
Yeah.
But they think it sounds so novel to think of it as that.
Right.
I mean, I had a whole bunch of conversations during that time, and I heard not just MSM making the argument. I had people who were liberal people saying, "Oh yeah, it was more like the Summer of Love," and I go, "Really?" I said, my word for it was extended Black Friday because of all the looting and
right, and discord and fighting over crazy stuff and knocking out of people. And Black Friday is not supposed to be dark like that. It's supposed to be, everybody's shopping and getting along and making money and getting and having great deals. But
I don't know if you remember, even Target ended up making some statement to where it was like, after their stores have been attacked, they were like, "Oh, we're not going to go after the people who did it," and
wow.
They were basically rubbing it off like, "Oh, this is like a reparation type thing," and I go, preachy crap.
Yep.
Just
makes you want to cuss. Indeed.
Yeah. Just insanity. So yeah, I mean, I think now that we're just even seeing the clip of the two ladies in California getting arrested, and they're like, in Orange County, it's now a felony to steal. It's like, I didn't see that happening with Biden.
Yeah, that was so interesting. I heard and maybe saw part of that clip on the Jason Lee Peterson show several weeks ago. They're like, "What?
Yeah,
it's a felony?"
Yeah,
that's funny, man.
And it's I think it's just like people say, oh, Trump didn't end the war with Putin and Zelensky in the first 24 hours. And I go, before he even got into office, they were already trying to send peace deals, both Israel and Gaza and all these terrorist groups, and then Putin was trying to send peace deals and make negotiations before Trump even took office.
Yeah.
So I mean, the guy didn't have to. He didn't even lift a finger, and they were already trying to make deals. So just I think that culture shift. It's people you work for Twitter when this, that, or the other owns it. You're like, oh, I could get away with doing anything.
Yeah.
But you try to pull that when Elon walks through the door. It's like, okay, break's over, time to work.
Yep.
That's the feeling with Trump.
Totally, man.
Whereas, but I've gone on too long, man. I don't want to take too much of your time.
I appreciate it. Great call.
Great talking to you, man.
Yeah. Take care,
Have
Brett.
a good one.
Yeah, call again sometime. All right.
Can't wait. Talk to you soon.
Bye. That's cool. You can call in, and you are welcome to call in. If you disagree, if you want to speculate about something, if you would like to whatever, we welcome you. Or we try to. Or shame on us if we don't. Right? 1-888-775-3773. A few super chats. All right? Is that okay with you? Too bad. I'm doing them anyway. Over on buymeacoffee.com. Let me just double check. Thank you, Carver, for that tip. He gave me that tip from the NextDoor app. I told you about that NextDoor lady who was, she should have known better. She should have known better, but she knew better. She knew better. Warning, there are scammers. If a woman comes to you crying at the gas station over up in Beverly Hills, that-a-way, then don't, when she's crying, she's lying, don't fall for it. She knew in her gut not to give money or to pay for the gas of this woman who was crying that she had just been robbed and was trying to get back to Covina. Don't fall for it. I admitted that I fell for, it wasn't even necessarily that I fell for it. I just felt like giving the guy money because I'm a nice guy, or was. Shame on me and shame on him. Shame on me for what I did wrong, and shame on him for what he did wrong, and shame on this person who's black in the neighborhood, according to Carver on the NextDoor app. It wasn't the whole post, but he shares with me this Imager link. Since you use the NextDoor app, I just sometimes check the push notifications if something catches my eye. I downloaded it, and then I didn't use it, and then I re-downloaded it, I guess, to report about my catalytic converter being stolen over New Year's weekend, probably New Year's Day, over a year ago. Important alert, there's a short black person wanting around the cold out something. Yeah, poor blacks walking around in the cold, and they don't like the cold. Some of them, anyway. Thank you, Carver. Yeah, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. There's times when you could just kick yourself when you do something. Let's say you're not an aggressive driver, and you wait and you don't like. Let's call it assertive driving. There's defensive driving, which is good. Somebody called in and said he's a defensive driver. I think it was William number 7 said he's a defensive driver. Never had an accident. That's good. I respect it. Much respected. And it's good to pay attention too, by the way. But give yourself room to brake and stop. But sometimes you don't go when you should have gone, and you're like, oh, man, I was being weak. Beta. And so you have to wait extra time. But, hey, who are you who are you not to wait extra time through your own fault? Think of all the time that you waste doing this or that, or not doing this or that. It's not that important. It's not a big deal. You know, don't spend your life in regret or kicking yourself. You know what I'm talking about? There was something that happened, and I was like, man, I should have this or should have that. Should have asked that follow-up question. But I wanted to be quick and not be a burden. Terrible. How fallen state white is that? All whites aren't in that fallen state, but there's a whiteness thing about nice and trying to be not inconvenience people. I don't know. I attribute it to white. I think it's valid. There's a lot of whites who do speak up for themselves, but there's a lot who don't. And it just reminds me of that from Carver's coffee yesterday. Thank you, Carver. There was also over on somebody who's not white, but who appreciates whites. Linya and Chin says, you can feel the rhythm of your heart. And I missed this yesterday. And I heard this on some other show on the JLP network. I think it was Joel Friday. You can feel the rhythm of your heart through your breath. It might have been Anchor Baby. You can sense the effects of that breath within the heart's rhythm. The max resolution of this feedback loop is your calmest state, your sharpest sense. Be still. I had a friend who was in high school. He's actually that cop who died. Remember that cop who died? My friend who became a cop, and he died. He got killed by a guy who was accused of domestic violence, and he was a criminal who was a gang member who was out of jail when he should have been in jail. And 2 cops showed for this domestic violence. His girlfriend or baby's mother accused him of stabbing her, but he didn't stab her that day. He stabbed her the day before or a few days before. So it was a fake call. She admitted it to being a fake call. But anyway, my friend, who when he was alive in like high school, he got his heart rate down to 45 beats per minute. That's like ninja status almost. Ninjas can nearly stop their heart, according to G.I. Joe. They can stop their heart or make it so slow that you think it's stopped. I don't know if it's true. I don't think it's totally true, but it's in the G.I. Joe ninja lore. So ninjas were cool back in the day when I was a kid. And they had that mastery of the rhythm of their heart and their breath. And he was white, this ninja. Snake Eyes. Thank you, Lin Yan Chin. Lord Goodhair, LGH. That's his nickname for me. Men are not made for violence. We are made to optimize. I agree with you, man. I didn't agree with that caller yesterday. I mean, you are built to be brutal. Like cops, I think, are meant to be brutal. You know how they say police brutality like it's a bad thing? Police are supposed to be able to use that brute force to force the criminal, the alleged criminal, the suspect, in line. I know some of the times the good guys become suspects, and it's not right. And sometimes they go overboard. Unnecessary roughness. It's not right. I prefer the unnecessary roughness, it's an American football term, to excessive force or police brutality. But we are made to optimize, leverage, inertia, and momentum in all avenues of possibility, but mostly for optimizing life quality. Yeah, Lin Yanshin. Violence as expression of emotion? Oh, she's gonna put her hands on me? Emotional reaction to the woman touching you or being wrong to you is not a man's patha. That is mama mess, Robert. Mama mess. That's why I had to let him go, because he was getting his disallowed male mama mess disallowed on YouTube, you know, on putting my channel at risk. And it was just the wrong spirit. Robert is welcome to call. He's not banned. I just had to let him go because he was out of hand. Talking about grabbing a woman's neck. And then I had another caller talking about that again, like picking up a woman by her throat or whatever. That's not right. Just tone it down. I don't talk like that, so why are you talking like that? But shout out. I love my callers. If I love anybody. Yeah, I'm with you, Lin Yan Chin. The violence thing is only when required and for productiveness. It's not necessarily productive to grab the woman by the throat after she hits you and physically attacks you. Or to brag about it multiple times on the Hake report. The fact that she's in your house being violent to you and she's not even your wife, at least let it be your wife that you were suckered into like marrying her and then she turned crazy on you. But it says something about you, not just about her that she did that, but it says something about you that she did, about you at least back then, and you that you would still talk about this. That she would do that in your home, according to you, and then you react that way. But shout out to the PTSD people, if you will. Hake needs an ESL lesson, English as his second language, or learn nostril breathing to boost his common sense. How do you... My nose is crooked. When I'm laying on this side of my head, on my side, on my left side, and that's the side you're supposed to lay on, right? Or is it the right side? It's harder to breathe on my left side than it is on my right side through my nose. It's kind of like fat people. Don't lay them on their stomach. It's harder for them to breathe. Police? To the mouth breather, says Lin Yan Chin, lost in the lie that my trying to impart understanding is not that, but an effort to look smart. That's the woman's impulse. I agree with you, Lin Yan Chin. Mine is just to bring sapience to use subhuman things so the space age might thrive. And by subhuman, he's not trying to dehumanize you necessarily. Well, I'm going to say that, okay? I don't know what his intentions are. But he's trying to raise you to greater humanity as you're meant to be. That's how I take it, Lin Yan Chin. I'm not thinking, oh, Lin Yan Chin's trying to sound smart. That is kind of like saying Trump is in Putin's pocket. It doesn't even make sense. That's just your assumption based on what you see, and you jump to some crazy cockamamie conclusion that makes no sense. Reminds me of the Reddit people. Holy 40 minutes of Lin Yan Chin mess. Hey, man, it hasn't even been 40 minutes, and I just barely started this a little bit ago. It's only been 8 minutes. Not even. Thank you, Lin Yan Chin. I appreciate it. Okay. Coffee, Carver, on regret, and NextDoor women. And Lin Yan Chin on Mama Mess and whatever that else was that we talked about. Thank you, Lin Yan Chin. Oh, don't call people morons, kids. Unless it's Plato, Aristotle, Plato, morons. Make domestic violence great against his age of inversion. Age of inversion is Robert confirmed. Just kidding. Just kidding. So let's get to some stories, shall we? We shall. Oh, I didn't even open up my... Whoa, how did that happen? Ring. TheHakeReport.com. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. It's white. It's white. You can watch on YouTube, Rumble, Punchy.tv, or elsewhere. You can podcast on Substack, Apple, Spotify. You can listen live through the JLP TalkStream Live listen line or the JLP app. You can buy some certain Hake swag, but not all of it yet on Hake Printify or JLP shop for JLP stuff, swag, but not all of it. You can super chat on Buy Me a Coffee or Streamlabs or elsewhere. Cash App, Ko-fi, Church. Don't forget the network, Church, JLP, The Fallen State, Nick, Joel, Punchy TV. Nice. Oh, and people have been buying cameos. I owe somebody a cameo. Nice. What's up? And hey, he does have a point. That was a little design by Lock Your Door. So we talked about some of this stuff. I find it sort of interesting, and I think it's cool, that Trump is negotiating with terrorists. That's great. Because the U.S. doesn't negotiate with terrorists, right? Let's see. Is this? Yeah. This is from Commie Nonsense Network. The U.S. is now negotiating directly with Hamas militants about the hostages and ceasefire in Gaza. Hamas is how Jews, maybe, and the Hamas people call their group name. Palestinians, right? Maybe. And Gaza is how the one Palestinian pronounced it. Gaza. And he makes it sound cool, so I like saying it that way. This marks an abrupt change in U.S. policy, which for decades has refused to engage with groups whom the U.S. consider terrorists. Hamas are considered terrorists by the United States. The U.S. declared Hamas a terrorist organization in 1997 under Bill Clinton, right? That was Bill Clinton's term. Second term? Yeah. Or the end of his first. President Trump on Wednesday also issued what he said was a last warning to Hamas. Oh, yeah. Trump stated on Truth Social, he truthed. What did he say? I think I have it. X.com/ what is that going to? James Anton Hake. Yeah, I retweeted. Oh, yeah, right here. Michael Tracy says, you knew from the Shalom Hamas intro that something wild would be to follow. Real Donald Trump posted on Truth Social, Shalom Hamas means hello and goodbye. Is that true? I didn't know that. I don't know if that's true or what he's saying. You can choose. Release all the hostages now, not later, and immediately return all of the dead bodies of the people you murdered, Trump states, addressing Hamas, saying shalom, which means wholeness or peace or whatever. I learned in college from my art teacher, one of my art teachers, that shalom means wholeness. He's Christian. My art teacher. One of them. Both of them. All three. Immediately return all the dead bodies of the people you murdered, or it is over for you. Only sick and twisted people keep bodies, and you are sick and twisted, Trump states. What's the under-over on whether Trump wrote this, or somebody else wrote it for him? Or did he dictate it? I learned from some, what is that called? Documentary? That Trump dictated his tweets, his posts on X or on Truth Social to his assistant, maybe a female assistant, to type it for him. So he doesn't use Siri. He's like, hey, Siri, post this on X. Only sick and twisted people keep bodies, and you are sick and twisted. I'm sending Israel everything they need. I say, okay, he said it. Everything it needs. I started using the other pronoun, the they, for countries and companies, because they consist of multiple people, you know. But anyway, I'm sending Israel everything it needs to finish the job. Not a single Hamas member, Shalom Hamas, will be safe if you don't do as I say, states Trump. I have just met with your former hostages whose lives you have destroyed. This is your last warning for the leadership. Now is the time to leave Gaza while you still have a chance, says Trump on Truth Social to Hamas, Shalom Hamas. Also to the people of Gaza, a beautiful future, capital F, future awaits people of Gaza, but not if you hold hostages, capital H. If you do, you are all caps dead. Make a all caps smart decision. All caps, release the hostages now or there will be hell to pay later. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. So nice. And somehow, what's wild about that, Michael Tracy, M. Tracy? He's an American liberal, I think atheist journalist whom I respect. He's been on the JLP show, by the way. He's a journalist guy. He writes on Substack. Maybe I shouldn't call him journalist. I should call him reporter. But he also comments, so sort of like journaling, you know? Nice. So what did Commie Nonsense have to say? Issued what he said was the last warning to Hamas to release all the hostages in Gaza immediately. He wrote on Truth Social that he would send Israel everything it needs to finish the job and warned not a single Hamas member will be safe if you don't do as I say. Nice. I love it. Right on. And you guys are like, man, he shouldn't be helping Israel. Whatever. Call in and tell me why. 1-888-775-3773. Come at me, bros and sisters. I'm giving the motion with my fingers to come on and call me and tell me why we shouldn't be supporting Israel in their war against Hamas. Even though he paused all the rest of the foreign aid except for Israel and a few others. Y'all are some silly people, says Aaron, that these Zionists are not the biblical Jews. We are not supposed to help these frauds. They blackmail all of our leaders and force them to support them, says Aaron. Well, I don't think Trump is helping them out of blackmail. I think Trump is helping them maybe out of the goodness of his heart. I don't know. Why should we? That's why. Why should we help them? That's why. Okay, David, I don't know why we should. But, you know, Trump is a man of peace, and he likes fixing the world. But he fixes the world in a right way. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? He fixes the world in a right way. Have you noticed that he's fixing the world? But he's not being a mama type fixing the world. He's being a father type fixing the world. In some cases by ceasing help. And in some cases by threatening to help in order to slam them. Bring peace to the Middle East as much as you can, you know. I don't expect that there will ever be peace in the world because the people are evil. But with a man of power forcing his way, you can do it. And I kind of like how he's negotiating directly. The U.S. is negotiating directly with Hamas militants and saying Shalom Hamas. Hello and goodbye. You choose. Trump hates Taylor Swift. That's okay with me. That's okay with me too. That means more T Swift for me. Whatever. Robert in Kansas is on the line here. Robert, welcome back. How you doing, man?
Hey, good morning, Hake.
Morning.
Oh,
you know what? I stand corrected. The capital of Kansas, kids, is not Wichita. It's Topeka. Duh. Thank you. Come on, man, for the correction. You reminded me because you're calling from Kansas, I think.
Yep, I'm in Kansas. It's real flat here.
Nice. That's what. See, that's why I understand you being a flat earther.
My whole point, I guess, not my whole point, but like when Lin Yin Chin is talking about that situation, I did not hurt her.
Good. Right on.
Okay?
Thank you.
Like what I did is show her that with one hand, I can lift you off the ground.
Yeah. And then, because women do sometimes, they lose track of reality.
Well, just so you guys know, I did not hurt her.
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that. Appreciate it.
Okay. But as far as like, whatever you thought my intention was, it wasn't like, I was trying to hurt somebody. So
no, I didn't necessarily think that at all. I was just thinking about the fact that of you repeatedly saying you grabbed her by the throat. That doesn't sound good, especially on the on a YouTube channel, man.
No, it doesn't sound good, and it wasn't good when it happened. Yes,
Right.
sir. You don't want to do that ever.
Nice.
So your shirt, Hake, you're asking how you look in your shirt. And it's like, dude, I think you look like really hot, bro.
Whoa, stop it. Stop.
No, like if you were
I know,
gay,
I have the
Hake,
fan on. It's stuffy in here.
No, but if you were gay, Hake, I could
Stop it. Shut it down.
I'm just saying. Well,
shut it down.
It's too bad you're not, because man, you do look good in that shirt. I tell you what, bro.
Well, thank you.
So you know, like I don't know how you look.
Sorry,
look
kids.
Like
sorry, ladies. Okay, moving forward.
Well, no, like if we were out in the woods, like in the battlefield.
I gotta run, Robert. Thank you for your call. Nice talking with you.
Very handsome young man. All right, bye-bye.
All right, bye. He got me with the click too. What a mess. I wanted to ask him about Shalom Hamas. I wanted to ask him why we shouldn't support Israel. Because he's one of the first Jewish critics of Jewish people whom I have ever met or talked to. I haven't met him in person. But he sort of educated me on what a lot of you guys' beef is with Jewish people. And then there was this other Jewish person, mostly Jewish, partly Jewish, who also educated me on that stuff. Nice. So it wasn't trying to hurt. Ugh. Hake site. Zelensky looks like hate, says Clutch Free Paradigm Z. Thank you, man. Yeah, I agree. Zelensky does. Zelensky could be like my brother. If I were Jewish and Ukrainian, he could be my brother. Much respect. And he's roughly my height, plus or minus. Because Zelensky's about 6 foot, plus or minus several inches. And I, too, am about 6 foot tall. I think that's the correct way to say it, right? 6 foot, not 6 feet. I think either one is correct. So, nice. Right on. Okay. Let me get to Andrew in Scotland, who's on the line over here. Andrew, thank you for calling. What's up?
Hello there.
Hey.
Hello?
Yes, good to hear from you, man.
How are you doing?
Doing well. How about you, Andrew, in Scotland?
Busy dealing with Christmas trees.
Why? Oh, yeah, it's your... Oh, it's that time of year that Are you growing Christmas trees?
No, sir. I'm one of those elves that work on Christmas trees all year round.
That's dope. As in cool. Right on.
Yeah. Sounds, anyway, I think that guy that was just on before was trolling you, by the way. That guy that was just on.
Yep. He's a good troll. He's good at trolling.
He was pushing it a little bit. Good on him, whatever.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I was just phoning you to give you, remember I told you I'd keep on giving you Tommy Robinson updates?
Yeah, the guy who's being persecuted for looking out, for wanting sanity in England and the United Kingdom.
To put it bluntly, yeah, that would be a good sort of appraisal.
Yeah.
So now I reckon, I just saw on X a couple of days ago that it's now about 100, maybe even 120 days of solitary confinement he's been in now.
Really?
Yeah.
So he is currently serving, and he is in solitary confinement.
Yes, sir.
That's crazy, man. 42-year-old serving an 18-month prison sentence for the contempt of court.
For a civil offense. Yeah, civil offense.
That's insane.
Not a criminal offense.
Yep.
It's mad.
Yeah.
But
That is
anyway,
mad.
if somebody's strong enough to get through it, it's him. But I mean, it's literally torture. You know what I mean?
Well, you mean solitary confinement is torture?
for this amount of time, yes.
It is interesting. I hope that he comes out of it better, not bitter. Better, not bitter. Pardon me for saying it like that.
How many people per capita do you think would come out of 9 months of solitary confinement better?
That's a good question. I don't know. Per capita. I really don't know whether people would come out better or bitter out of solitary confinement. I guess that's up to the inclination of the heart of the person and whether God moves on them and whether they're ready for God in them.
Well, God must be working through him anyway, because the whole reason he's got into this mess is standing up for the truth, at his own peril. So only people that have God working through them would, go through this ridiculous process that he's having to go through.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the truth. And if God represents the truth, then I guess that is what's leading him. So I hope so. But he's not a religious guy, from what I know, so I don't know.
Well, that's sometimes the most godly people are not religious outwardly.
Agreed, aye.
So I can't say, I can't speak on this man's heart. A lot of people,
no, neither can I.
A lot of people suffer greatly doing things, but they still have no love, doing things for what's quote unquote, what's right. And it is, they are, the Bible talks about people who do all kinds of, give their body to the poor and give their everything to the poor and stand for what's right and stuff. And that's what he's doing. But, I really wish, there's a man who was jailed in solitary here in the country, Owen Schroyer.
There's loads of people that are jailed in solitary confinement, but he only got a month, by the way, so it wasn't bad, and he never got his privileges taken away from him as well.
Yeah.
They've caught on to a couple of phone calls that Tommy's had, and apparently he spoke to his son through one of the co-op calls. He was only meant to speak to one family member, and he's ended up speaking to his son because he's ended up on the speakerphone, and then they barred him from talking to his son.
Wow.
Just for that.
That's crazy, man.
Things like this, it's so unfair, and everybody knows it in Britain as well, and you can say that it's unfair, but that's about all you can say. If you take it any further,
you're going to jail with them. Yeah, you're going to solitary with them.
Joining them. Yeah, but it's just, I just want you to keep an eye on it, just so that our American friends are keeping an eye on it, because love him or loathe him, his whole life, you can see everything about every criminal conviction he's had. It's all there on Rumble and online and that. So if people want to see who this person is, they can see who he is and make up their own mind, instead of what the British media say, which is unfair.
Elon Musk, a month ago, or 2 months ago, right? Was it January? He said free Tommy Robinson back in, I think, beginning of January, right? Yeah. Before even Trump took office. Saying,
on that same month.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
On that same month, Elon's dad was doing interviews with a television program called Great Britain News or something, which is meant to be fair, but it doesn't look fair either. And he was saying on his interviews that Tommy Robinson should be our prime minister.
Yeah.
That was Elon's dad.
Nice.
Doing that on live interviews more than once.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah, well,
that's
that
cool.
was it.
Elon Musk's dad is a good guy. He was on the Trump train before Elon Musk.
Was he?
Yeah, he got Elon Musk was mad at him and cussed at him for being on the Trump train in front of Hollywood people or something.
I just liked in that interview that Jesse put up in time when there was a big thing about his wife accusing him of this, that, and the other, and then his answer was just, well, she's a nice person, but she's quite simply lying.
Right.
And he just moved on.
That's right.
He didn't even dwell on it for a second.
Yeah.
I thought, he's pretty.
That's the way to go, and that shows some maturity that I admire in just knocking down the claim and moving forward, not trying to argue or dwell on it.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the Tommy Robinson update. We're praying for him if we're praying at all. We're praying for him.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Perfect. Thanks. Now have a good show.
Thanks, Andrew in Scotland. Take care.
You too. Cheerio.
All right. Bye. And Jeff in Louisiana is on the line over here. Jeff, thanks for calling, man. What's up?
Man, I'm just curious. You say every day, why do you respect Zelensky?
I listened to this interview with him in part. This is part of why I respect him. And you think about how he rose to the position that he's in, the fact that he was rich already before he even took office. It's basically sort of a general respect as a fellow man, and his ability. There's a respect that I kind of have for people who, whether they're good or evil, are able to take office and hold that office and be stable enough to maintain that image in the world. And,
okay, so
yeah.
I'm sorry. Let me cut y'all. Go ahead.
And Trump said that he respects him greatly as well. And I think that's good. I think it's good to respect people.
You see him in Oval Office that Friday. Trump doesn't respect him.
You think Trump?
Tell that.
You think Trump does not respect him after Friday?
No, after that Friday, after he threatened America.
Yeah, he said something about, oh, you're going to be feeling it if you don't support me, something like that, right?
Yeah. You have a nice ocean between you, but you will feel it soon.
Yeah.
And that's what set Trump off.
Right. He said, you don't get to tell us what we're going to feel. But I still think that in that moment, oh, how's my stream, guys? I think it's okay. Just because he didn't act respectfully in that moment, doesn't mean that Trump doesn't have like a proper respect for him at the right time, you know?
Okay, but another question for a respect thing. How do you respect somebody that after that situation happened there, Trump pulled, all funding and military aid to them.
Yeah.
And then what was it? Day before yesterday, Zelensky came out and said he's ready to sign the peace deal, the mineral deal, and all this stuff, wants peace and all this crap.
Right.
And Trump made that comment about that letter in his speech of the night.
Yeah.
Then yesterday, Zelensky goes back out there and says there will be no peace for Russia. He's not negotiating peace.
Yeah, I heard somebody say that he took it back.
Yeah, he flip flops like crazy. I mean, he's not a man that stands behind his opinion.
Right.
His position.
Well, I will tell you, I never respected the fact that he kissed up to the liberals and that he wants to continue this war that's killing his people, the Ukrainians. I've not respected that aspect of him. And I don't respect this aspect of what he's doing, of course, at all. I don't agree with what he's doing, of course, at all. So when I say I respect him, it has nothing to do with his lack of character and his liberalism and his anti-Trump type of pandering at all.
But he made money. He was an actor and all that crap.
Yeah.
Do you know what his last job was before he actually became president of Ukraine?
Is it clean? I don't.
Yeah, it's clean. It's clean.
Okay.
He made it. Like I said, was an actor and comedian and all that stuff. He made a television network that made cartoons, comedy shows, and all this stuff. From 2015 to 2019, he made a TV series where he was the president of Ukraine for 4 years.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. I had heard something to that effect, that he played a president and then now he is a president of Ukraine.
Yeah, he made a TV show. He made a TV show and it's called Servant of the People. He's not serving his people, he's serving his own interests because I know I said something today and I know you don't want to verified stuff, but
oh yeah,
the snatching people off the streets, that is happening. The soldiers of Ukraine have been interviewed and said they're tired of fight. They're tired of losing.
I wouldn't doubt that that's true. I mean, I don't know it to be true, but I wouldn't doubt that that's true. I mean, a lot of people are forced to fight. You mentioned it yourself, and I don't know if those videos that you mentioned the other time are real or not. They might be, though. Because yeah, go ahead.
The thing is, you know, when we have a war, our wars aren't here. You know, we been attacked by Japan, but we went over there and we cleaned up. But our president always stood behind his people. Since this war going, what's he done? He's been on the cover of Vogue. He's been in all kind of magazines.
Yeah.
He stays traveling the world, going out the country begging for money. He doesn't stand with his people.
Right.
He wears a military. He wears that military uniform he wears, or a little get up like he wore to meet nobody.
Yep.
That's disrespect to his soldiers.
Interesting. It's an interesting take.
Every day. Well, they're fighting after every day, and he's wearing a little uniform while he's flying across the world everywhere.
But that
he's not doing.
A lot of those things show me why I don't respect the world. You know, because the shame on the world for kissing up to the fake idea of Ukraine and the fake idea of peace for Ukraine and a democracy for Ukraine and touting this guy and worshiping this guy, you know?
But he's the one that's promoting those ideas of everything for Ukraine.
But he's not the only one. Like he wouldn't be able to do that if the whole rest of the world weren't going along with him, the other world leaders and celebrities and phony politicians. And those are why I'm tempted to say I don't respect him at all. But I resist that temptation because you still want to respect everybody in the proper way.
Well, I mean,
but I'm not taking anything away from all the, cover your ears, kids, but crap that this guy is doing. It is evil, completely. And there's nothing to respect with those things.
I mean, it's kind of different, but that's actually the leader, and he stands by what he says and all that stuff. You respect Biden by that definition.
Right, yeah. And I do have a level of respect for Biden. He's our second greatest president. Now, I say that trollingly, jokingly, a little bit emotionally, you know, because whatever. But Trump because Trump respects Biden, but he also says that he's the worst president we've ever had. So I think that you can respect people and still tell the truth, the ugly truth, the whole truth about these evil, ridiculous people. Yeah?
I will back off a little bit. I kind of understand your point.
Yeah.
Just I mean, it's like Ted Cruz went on TV the other night and said as much as he couldn't stand, as much as he disagreed with Biden and Obama's policies, didn't like them. A lot of times when he's in office, every time there was a State Union speech, he stood up and clapped because he respects the office.
Nice. Right. Yeah. It's sort of like what JLP said about decorum. I don't know if you caught the radio show with Jesse about these black women. These black women cussing, saying F you to, sorry, kids, to Elon Musk, and Trump is Putin's ho. That is a level of disrespect that's inappropriate for TV anyway. Yeah, go ahead.
You know, you show to show you how bad the Democrat Party is and how bad human beings are. When they had that little DJ boy, 13-year-old cancer survivor on the night. Yeah. The fact that they stand up and clap for him.
Right. Yeah, because he respects cops. DJ Daniel, the 13-year-old cancer survivor guy, respects cops.
Yeah, I mean the fact that, dude, I won't cry. I almost teared up when the Secret Service director came out there and gave that thing. The little boy hugged his neck and held on to him, hugging his neck.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that shows how bad of people they are. The only thing they stood up and clapped for was the $1 billion we gave to Ukraine.
Yep, that's what I heard too. That's crazy, man. The Democrats they have a heart of stone. The Bible says, I will replace your heart of stone and give you a heart of flesh. And that hasn't happened for the Democrats, apparently.
Well, man, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to find that with them. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a joke of a party, dude. But, man, I won't hold you up until you got more callers.
Good to hear from you, man. Appreciate the call. I'm glad to clarify that. Take care. He got me with the click, too. Just clicking away. DJ Daniel. Dems disrespecting DJ Daniel. It's terrible. My favorite caller from the sundown town of Dayton, Ohio. I'm going to plow through all these calls. What's up, Maze?
Hello, James. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
It's been a long time. But you know what? Some people get upset because I talk to you.
Right.
Some old people that don't have no sense.
Yeah.
Don't think that I should be talking
Well,
to
I
a
understand it.
man.
Forever, people have hated you, Maze.
I don't care.
But no, I know. But do you remember like Guy from Phoenix?
Yes.
He gets so mad at you. So
Did
people,
it bother me?
No, I'm not talking about it bothering you or not. I'm just saying that there is something in you that I think I personally think that you sort of delight in getting under their skin. Am I wrong?
I don't even be thinking about them.
Oh,
because I don't know them.
All right. Well,
the conversations they had, I've been trying to help them with the brain loss that they have.
like you're just a regular.
Now, let me tell you
you're
what's
just
wrong
like
with
Lin Yen Chin, trying to help the people.
Well, some people you can't help because they're lost. And just
That's right. Yep.
But you still can't give me. I have the freedom to speak.
Yeah, and people should not hate you.
With other people's freedom to speak.
That's right. It's a lesson in patience. People lack
whatever
patience.
You want to put it.
Or
when
humility.
You took Black Studies, what did you learn?
When I was in Black Studies, when I took my Black Studies classes,
yes,
I didn't think of them as Black Studies classes, but I took African American History 1 and 2. I think it was called African American. And then I took Afro-American Music History as well. And what I learned was that Abraham Lincoln, I think, told Frederick Douglass or somebody, he told one of those guys, I don't know if it was Abe Lincoln even, but a white politician told a black guy, historical figure, this is a disagreement between white gentlemen and doesn't concern you. And I also learned that the North thought that the South were disgusting, not for having slaves, but for interacting with black people.
And that's why they get upset with you, because you interact with us. You have a conversation with us.
Oh,
you either
yeah.
learn or you stay ill.
Right. But
we have the
but they're not mad about they're not mad that I interact with black people. They're mad that I'm friendly with you, who you speak such stuff that's sometimes wrong or.
Do you learn anything?
Sometimes.
Thank you. So that's what people should be here to learn, not to be sitting here with hatred within their souls and in their heart that they're gonna die with.
Yeah.
That's not me. And it's just like I said. So you sit
well,
here,
some people
over there on one side of your shoulder saying, don't nobody care for black people. Do you think black people care about nobody caring for them? Because they don't speak for everybody.
Nice. Some of them complain about it.
They're like, you don't speak for every Caucasian, do you?
No.
Thank you. So that's all I had to do. And then when you talk about how black people this and what black people do, the French is mad, the Canadians are mad, and all of those people are upset. And that upset black people, because black people haven't done anything to them. Have they? Who are they upset with?
Who's that? Who are you talking about?
The French, the Canadians, and the Mexicans, and all those people. Who are they upset with? Because what are we doing to them?
Well, Mexicans have had to deal with black people. Okay,
I'm not talking about dealing with black people. I'm saying, why are they upset?
Why are they upset with black people?
Because of tariffs. Not because of us, because we didn't do that. We ain't had nothing to do with it.
Do what? Terrorism?
Yeah, the tariffs that they put on those countries.
Oh, tariffs.
They're supposed to be your alibis, people on your side. So they're running them away, too. So, I mean, what are you supposed to do? Wonder what's wrong with those people that's doing that? You're supposed to understand with the American flag, say, I'm American, and I agree with all this crap that I'm looking at.
I don't know that I know what you're talking about. So are there Canadians who are mad at black Americans, or are they just mad at Americans? No,
that's not what I'm saying. You're getting it mixed up.
Okay,
Who put a tariff on the Canadian? We didn't.
Trump did.
We had nothing to do with that.
Trump did, our greatest president.
So
some blacks voted for this righteously.
I'm not talking about the vote. He is not a black man that's doing this.
Right.
So you heard what the French man said to one American. He didn't say all Americans. He said one. What you going to cause American to do. So that means I won't be left out, and you won't be left out either. And to those who don't like what I have to say, too bad.
Nice.
That's not my problem, because you messed up.
Right.
I've seen the world and been around it, and with people too. I don't hate people. I don't care about people hating me.
So are you saying what
hate
did
me?
the
Don't mess with my money.
what
That's all I got to say.
was it a
Don't
French?
try to get rich off me, and you hate me and try to get rich off me. No, I'm not that type. I'll stay away from you just like you want me to stay away from you.
The
You
tariff.
love that money, but you don't like them. That's what I see. That's what I hear. Why you take their money? If you don't like somebody, why would you take their money?
Oh, I'll take their money whether they like me or not.
No, I wouldn't.
Whether I like them or not.
Oh, okay, that's what you would do.
Yeah.
And that's not godly.
No, yeah, it is. I think what's wrong
not.
what's wrong with accepting money from people whom I don't like or who don't like me? What's wrong with that?
Why would you don't want them in your place? So why you want to take money from them?
Oh, well, I've never said that I don't want them in. I mean, I don't necessarily want them in the studio with me, but I wouldn't necessarily reject them from the studio or from coming to church or whatever.
Oh, if they had money to put, but if they didn't have money to put, you don't want them there.
No. Even if they didn't, it's not about money. I'm just talking about what. Are you talking about me accepting super chats from people who might disagree?
No,
with?
I'm not talking about you specifically. When I hear you say you don't want, like if you had a restaurant, they shouldn't be in there.
No, I'm just
if
saying.
If you live in some place,
let's say
your
that,
neighborhood. Every neighborhood is for people that can afford to live in them. Not if you, because some people wouldn't want you in their neighborhood and they're Caucasian.
No, my point is.
You can
No. I didn't say that I wouldn't accept blacks or whoever in my restaurant if I owned a restaurant. I'm just saying that a restaurant owner should have that. It should have the say of saying I don't want blacks or I don't want whites or I don't want gays or women or whoever in my place of business.
Yes, but they shouldn't accept their money. So if they don't want them in that, they shouldn't want their money for no reason.
Right, they usually don't.
They could be able to keep it in their pocket, and then they should stop trying to try
and
to
a neighborhood too. I disagree with you
rising.
about the neighborhood thing. I think that neighborhoods should be able to if the neighborhood wants to be all Muslim, they should be all Muslim.
It should be because they want it.
Yeah.
And then surviving on their own. They shouldn't have anybody coming in. It's just like Ukraine. They want this man resources. For what? It's not over here in this country. So why you need their resources to make them even poorer than what they were in the beginning? As American citizens,
what's your point?
I don't want
What's
my
your point
tax
about the Ukraine and resources?
As an American citizen, I don't want my tax dollars to be trying to hold somebody's resources. Are we going to get anything out of it?
No, we won't. I think
Thank
that.
you. So why you standing there with your shirt all pumped out?
Are you talking about supporting Israel or supporting Ukraine?
Either one.
Well, Israel I support.
Either.
Ukraine I don't support.
And so, Jane, and then let me help somebody a little bit.
The reason I support Israel is because Israel's going to win anyway.
Win.
But I don't support Ukraine because Ukraine's
no
not.
weapon to fight against them, you're going to win every time.
I know, but Ukraine's not going to win, so we shouldn't support them.
I don't know what Ukraine going to do because that had nothing to do with us.
We should only support winners.
Really?
Not losers. If you support a loser, you're wasting your money.
Laugh about it.
Isn't it true that you're wasting your money if you support Ukraine? You're just supporting Ukraine losing.
You're wasting your money if you for war in the first place.
I agree.
And that's not on our soil. So why do we have our nose in it?
Yeah, and that's part of my point. You're making my.
Were they our allies at one time, Jay?
Who? The Ukraine? They were both our allies.
So did you renege on those people because they got rid of their weapons and stuff? And that's how they became allies, but you can tell them what to do.
Yeah. I mean, they were part. What I heard from somebody in the chat or comment section is that the Ukraine didn't have their own weapons, nuclear weapons. They were part of the Soviet Union, and they had the Soviet Union nuclear weapons. So we're like, no, you don't get to keep your Soviet Union nuclear weapons. That's what I heard.
So it's not that you protect one group of people and then you turn around and hurt other group of people.
Well, my point, my point is I don't want to hurt Hamas any more than we have to, than Israel has to.
You shouldn't be even involved with it. It's not here.
I agree. But listen to this, Mace. Listen to this.
What?
The war wouldn't have happened if Trump had been in office. And so Trump is back in office, and now the war is going to stop. So he's not going to. So Trump is not supporting Israel in war.
Like
he's helping it. He's a bully. I know,
yeah,
but he's a bully.
You got to give up your resources in order for somebody to help you.
But it's a bully for peace. Bullying for peace.
No, it's not a bully for peace.
Yeah, huh?
That's what they told the Native Americans and everybody else.
And look
where they're at.
Well, that's their fault.
Yeah, no, it's not their fault.
Kind of.
It's not their fault. That's what you say. And so, as I say, those that hate me, good for them. Those that don't, that like me, good for them. I'm not here to be hated or liked. I'm just giving them my opinion on what I think.
Nice. Well, right on, Mace. It's good to hear from
And
you.
to the old men that don't like me having a conversation with you,
Yeah.
they stuck in their wilderness. Let them look grown because they can't see the forest for the trees.
Right.
And
I
if
know.
a dog holler, I know who I'm talking to.
Yeah. Thank you, Maze. Take care.
Oh, one thing I forgot, James.
Mm-hmm.
You know why some black people can't read?
Why?
They were denied to read. They couldn't read.
This is
You
so
find-
over,
tell them-
Maze.
tell them
No.
about what's wrong with the blacks.
Wait.
Tell them go get the book
Wait.
Why Johnny can't read, and they read it, and maybe they can understand it. A lot of them couldn't read, but those today can read. And when you're writing, look at what you're writing before you speak to what's wrong with the blacks.
Black literacy rates.
Yeah, that's what the ignorant CWP is saying. Because my sister had taught a man that was a supervisor. Had to read everything that he needed because he could not read, and he was not black. So before you get to running your lips and not knowing what you're talking about, do some history. Have a good one, James.
Okay, thank you, Maze. Take care. A graph depicting black literacy rates, and they capitalize the B in the word black because Google is kiss up. Google AI, totally useless website, by the way, would show a significant upward trend starting from very low levels before the so-called Civil War, steadily increasing through the 20th century with notable jumps following so-called landmark civil rights legislation, so they claim. Though a persistent gap compared to white literacy rates remains evident today, highlighting historical disparities in education access, communist buzzword, for black Americans. And that's not true. That's not highlighting historical disparities, because the black illiteracy today has to do with the messed up families, and the messed up families lead to messed up communities, and messed up communities lead to messed up schools. So messed up families, bad single mothers and all that stuff, the out of control black kids in the schools because of the out of control mothers, the schools are worthless. Even if the school had a good teacher, so-called, you would have the angry black kids. What a mess. And the literacy rates of, say, like Baltimore literacy rate. What's the Baltimore literacy rate? Baltimore City students have below average reading scores. Is that because they were not allowed to read in Baltimore or in the South? No. 13% of fourth graders and 16% of eighth graders in 2024 in Baltimore City performed at or above the proficient level for reading in the National Assessment of Educational Progress, NAEP, which I don't agree with even having that. I think we should doge that assessment. 2022, 15% of eighth graders performed at or above proficiency. 29% of high school students were proficient. See? And so Mays wants to say, oh, that's because they weren't allowed to read. But no, it's because it's their own fault. Stop being poor. Will in Australia is on the line over here. Will, thank you for calling and holding, man. What's up?
Good morning, sir.
Hey.
Not much, my man. How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
I just wanted to talk about Zelensky in Ukraine, but first I'd like to say we love Mays, don't we? I love Mays.
Right on. If we love anybody, we love Mays. If we don't love anybody, we don't love Mays.
There's one thing you guys were talking about when it came to the mineral deal or whatever, when it comes to Trump and Zelensky in Ukraine and that. Did you guys didn't see that interview with him, did you? You didn't see the whole interview?
I did not see the whole interview with Trump or Zelensky or Trump and Zelensky. No.
Yeah, Trump and Zelensky, yeah. Well, he's talking about getting, there's like a deal that goes on with him giving him aid and then us getting minerals to be, you guys getting minerals to be able to get money back and give back to the American people. So
yeah, because Trump wanted it to be a loan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he wants money to be put into Ukraine, but he also wants the opportunity to get money back. So,
yeah, we should be able to get something out of it. And it should be toward an end.
You guys are going to get something
It was toward no end.
Yeah, exactly right. Right. So that's just one thing I wanted to comment on what Mays and you guys are talking about, because you guys are going to get something out of it. And also, Trump is a peacemaker.
That's right.
So
Totally.
for him to make peace, you have to make a deal. And if you're not willing to make a deal, you're not going to make peace. And like what Jeff from Louisiana was talking about, I think, you know, Zelensky back, like, you know, having that hardline stance. I can't remember if you guys haven't seen the interview, but he does get a bit narky and be like, well, we need defense, we need security. What did he call it?
Security guarantees?
Yeah, security guarantees.
Yeah.
We need security guarantees. We need security.
Don't you like his accent? Anyway.
Oh, I love the Russian accent. It's one of my favorites to do.
Wow, he called it a Russian accent. Nice, based.
Well, it is, isn't it?
Yeah,
Isn't
it basically
it's
is.
a Russian accent.
Yeah. Nice.
I know the language is different, but it's the same. It's the same flair of the of the tongue. Anyway,
there you go.
I forgot what we were talking about.
We're talking about security. We need security guarantees.
Yeah, security guarantees. Yeah, well, and him backing off after, you know, he, like everyone, you've probably experienced this, you know, how you stand your ground and you think it's right, and, you know, you're in front of a whole bunch of people and you stand in your ground and you think it's right, and he probably went home and talked to some people, and people probably went into his ear, like, this is all speculation, mind you.
Yeah, yeah.
But I almost guarantee that people were in his ear and being like, you had an out. You had an out. What are you doing? Or even if it was just with himself, you know, why wouldn't you change your mind and want to, you know, take a knee, so to speak, and, you know, have that deal to have peace? Because he already knew that Putin wanted peace from Trump's mouth to Zelensky's ears. So why wouldn't you want peace?
It's a good question. And now I hear that what I wonder whether he's doing is whether Zelensky, you know how he's changed his mind and said, I'm going to sign the deal and make peace and your minerals deal and all that. And now I've heard two people say now, one person on X and now Jeff in Louisiana. And I don't know if it's true, but I heard that Zelensky is now saying, no, I'm not going to make that deal. I wonder
dear God, really?
And I wonder if that's true. I wonder if he's trying to be like a Trump, because you know how Trump says something and then changes his mind and then changes it back again and then changes it, depending on the situation. I wonder if he's trying to be a Trump type of a thing. But I totally don't know anything. It's just, you know how little Marco Rubio tried to be like Trump in one of these debates 8-10 years ago, probably 8 or 6 or 9 years ago. He tried to be kind of like Trump and be all popping off at the mouth, but it didn't make any sense. I wonder if that's what Zelensky is doing. But it's just an idle thought. I don't know. Total speculation.
Yeah. I've literally only woke up like 45 minutes ago. I haven't been through the news or anything. I've just been sitting here listening to your fantastic show, my man.
Right.
So I haven't.
It's about what time is it over there? 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, 5:28. You're bang on almost.
Nice. Wow. How's Friday treating you?
Oh, yeah, the future's nice over here, my friend.
Are you a ball earther or a flat earther?
Oh, I am a ball earther.
Yep. Nice.
I am a ball earther. It is a ball, and we are spinning hundreds of thousands of kilometers an hour through a void in space.
But we are flat earth friendly, and we love the flat earthers, and they are welcome to call in and disagree. Nice, man.
Oh, 100%. I work with a flat earther. He believes in the firmament. He believes in the firmament. He believes in, you know, the stars being light, the sun being within the firmament, and all this stuff. I love talking to him. Like, me and him get on about 99% of stuff.
That's cool.
But he's also on the Trump train as well. So I can stand there and talk to him all day.
That's awesome,
about all this good stuff that's going on in the world. So yeah. Flat earthers are great. You know, just because we disagree on that one thing doesn't mean we have to, you know, be enemies. Like, what the?
Yeah, exactly. That's cool, man.
Anyways,
well, thank you for
that's about it.
Sounds good, man. Thanks for the call, Will, in Australia. Take care.
No worries, brother. Uru.
Nice. Bye. I got to get to Steven in Maryland. Steven, thank you for calling. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
Doing well. Thank you for holding.
Good. I want to talk about Trump's speech the other night.
Wasn't that beautiful?
Sure it was.
Nice.
How come he didn't have the protesters that went to jail with their Confederate flag back there?
Which protesters? The Charlottesville ones or the January 6ers?
No, the one that invaded the Capitol.
I didn't know there were rebel flags at the Capitol. That's nice.
I'm saying he didn't have none of those people back there.
Oh, don't worry. He'll get to them. He's looking out. He pardoned all of them, right?
He found a little black boy that had a brain tumor.
Yeah, wasn't that cute?
Yeah, but he couldn't.
It was
find
not
those
just
guys
cute. It was
people do.
cool. It was manly, and it was beautiful.
Hey, what about the guys that he released? Was that manly and patriotic?
Who, the January 6ers, whom he released?
Yeah.
That was manly, and it was patriotic, definitely.
Yeah, so how come he wasn't there?
Oh, because that not everybody agrees with yet, because they're still brainwashed to think that it was like an insurrection and this horrible thing, that it wasn't so bad, actually. And so he wants to be more unifying than that. He doesn't want to bring controversy at this time.
That's not controversial.
Yeah, it's a little bit controversial because there are people who think, oh, that was an insurrection and terrorists and crap. No, it wasn't, man. See, that's why he didn't want to bring it up so that you guys would overreact. He's not trying to provoke you guys.
Look, he didn't want that black guy stand on his head, did he?
No, but he didn't.
He probably would be jumping up down an aisle for fair then if them guys was behind him.
Who?
You know the black guy they put out?
The black guy that what?
The congressman they put out?
The black congressman?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they pulled him out. Oh, yeah. They threw him out. Yeah. That guy, what about him?
I'm quite sure he really would have performed if they was back there.
Yeah. I mean, he really did. Like, see, the Democrats are never happy, no matter how good Trump is. They won't smile or anything. Come to the light side while you still have a chance, Stephen in Maryland. You're 88 years old. Time to grow up.
I'm grown. I ain't getting no grown.
I know, but spiritually, it's time to grow up.
I'm fully grown spiritually, too.
Well, then you should be on Trump's side. You should be on the side of the January 6th. You shouldn't necessarily be on the side of the January 6th, but you should see that they got railroaded and persecuted unjustly by the government.
Anytime you invade the Capitol, that's an offense.
I get it. I get that. Yeah. But the punishment did not fit the crime.
Okay, so what should they be punishment? What should they do to him?
A slap on the wrist.
After they heard all those policemen?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. They didn't. How badly did they hurt any policemen?
It was hurt a long time. Didn't you hear about them?
No.
They hurt over a year. Some people.
They were hurt for over a year?
Yeah.
Are you sure? How do you know they weren't just exaggerating their injuries?
Why would they lie?
Because to make people madder at the January 6ers, make them look like worse than they really were.
Come on, Hake. Come on.
You don't know that? Don't you know that when somebody hits you, don't you kind of exaggerate it and be like,
No. I get angry if somebody hit me. That's true.
Exactly.
Anger comes out.
Yeah, see, they're angry at the January 6ers, and when you're angry, you can't do justice. Because anger is not an emotion of justice. Emotions are not justice. But they're angry at the January 6ers.
I think anger is a source of justice.
No.
Suppose I smack you dead in the mouth.
Uh-huh.
What would you do?
I'd probably be like,
And that's it?
And I'd be like, N-word. And
that's it?
And that's probably it. No, don't try me. Don't test me, bro.
I'm quite sure you would say more than that word you just said. I call them kaifers. I don't use that word.
Oh, nice. Right on.
I'm like that Musk guy.
Elon Musk? Oh, yeah, because that's what the South Africans call the blacks or something.
Kaifers.
Yeah. Well, don't say that.
Oh, don't say that either?
I don't know, just for the sake of the channel.
Oh, okay. Anyway, you got a man knowing that, though. But that's what I want to know, too.
Yes.
You know, BLL, is he a member of Bond? Did he come out of Bond?
I don't know what you're talking about. Who?
Black,
Don't
large lump. You know large lump?
Big Bump.
Yeah, large lump.
Yeah,
He's not a bump. That's a lump.
He does come to Bond meetings and all kinds of stuff.
I figured that. He sounds like one. But that's why I would never.
So he
send
sounds
nobody
like
Bond.
an upstanding black man, family man.
No. He's about the same thing that Jesse's son now.
Well, that's a good thing.
Say the same thing.
BIGG_BUMP on X.
No,
Yeah.
it's LUMP with two P's.
Whatever.
What'd you start to say?
I said whatever.
Oh, okay.
I got to keep it moving, man. Anything else?
Yeah, that's it. Except for Trump, Mr. Trump. I still say Trump is in Putin's pocket.
Yeah,
Because
but you're just making an assumption about that. You don't actually know that for a fact.
When the last time Putin been to the United States?
I don't know. Hopefully he will this year.
He's never been here.
Oh, really? Well, hopefully he comes.
How many times has Trump been over there?
I don't know.
Quite a few times, don't you remember?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But no, that's a sign of being like a woman, making an assumption like that, saying that Trump is in Putin's pocket. That's ridiculous, silly.
Look, how many credits did you earn from taking Black Studies?
Probably 2 each, so probably 6 credits, 6 whatever they're called, credits.
He's in the college. How many did you earn? You don't know?
I don't know. Credits are dumb.
So long ago, huh?
Yeah, it was a long time ago, and I didn't keep track of credits. I just went to school.
You have to. So you can graduate. You have to have a certain amount of credits to graduate.
Yeah, but you just take your classes that you take at least 12 credits to 14 or so, and you're on track. Whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
I'm quite sure you knew how many credits you had.
I don't even remember.
Don't even care, right?
Yeah, I don't feel like doing math.
Done. Forget about it. You want to school more. What college did you go to anyway?
Pasadena City College and Azusa Pacific University.
All right.
Pasadena City College is where I think Jesse Owens went. Well, it was called Pasadena Junior College at that point, I guess. Some famous black runner or something did it.
I heard terrible things about Jesse Owens, but we have to save that for another day.
Okay.
God.
Good to hear from you, man. Take care.
Yeah, same here. Hey.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Brandon in Canada, first-time caller. What's up, Brandon? Thank you for calling. What's up? How you doing?
Good morning, Hake. How are you?
Doing well. How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well, too.
Sweet.
Yeah, I wanted to comment on what Mays was saying about angry French Canadians.
Okay, let's hear it.
I want to say first that I love hearing from Mays. She's very entertaining to hear from, and I love the back and forth that she has with you guys.
Yeah.
But I just want to put some perspective that it is true that the French Canadians, the East Coasters for the most part, I'm from the East Coast, but I've moved out west now and living in a more conservative part of the country.
Yeah.
And I see on my Facebook and on everything else how people are so angry. And it's keeping them away from the truth. So they can't really see the truth while they're angry.
True.
And with Trump and his tariffs, from the start, I could tell that Trump is working on making America great again, for one.
Yeah.
And secondly, to kick us all out of our delusions of how things are actually going.
Nice.
And these tariffs, I don't completely understand them. I'm not, strong in economics or anything. But
right.
From what I see now, the Canadian government is retaliating by keeping the population angry, keeping them blinded from the truth.
Oh, wow.
And I think it's a move to stay in power, for the liberals to stay in power specifically.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of where I was at with that, I mean, I see a lot of angry Canadians, but I also comment to what they're angry about, and they want to keep the war going. They want to support Ukraine. They want to do all this and that, but how is that good? You know?
That's true. It's not good. I mean, that's a great question. It's not good to be supporting and continuing this war in Ukraine and this taking advantage of the weakness / wealth, spoiling wealth of America redistributed around the world. It's not good.
Yes.
That's
exactly
great point, man.
And now we're paying for it, not because of Trump, but because of the shortcomings of our own government.
Fair point.
Setup they've had for, like, our liberal government has been in power here for over 10 years now. And it's been a mess.
Yeah.
To say the least, you know?
Wow.
And it's hard to get through to people when they're so angry, but
true.
If you just stick with the truth and nothing but the truth, eventually those who are meant to see will see and will understand that anger has been blinding them this whole time.
Yep.
Yeah.
So true, man. Well, right on. Great to hear from you, Brandon in Canada. So are you French Canadian?
I am a French Canadian. I'm in the chat.
Right on.
I am the Acadian out of Canada.
Sweet.
So I am Acadian.
Well, call again, Brandon in Canada.
I will.
Great point.
Yeah.
Take care, man.
Cool. I appreciate it, Hake.
Yeah, thank you. All right.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye. And some super chats, guys. Before I get back to the calls, I will get to all your calls, hopefully. Popcorn's Thump Keg with a coffee. Do you know why Trump said Canada doesn't allow American banks to do business in Canada? Everything I've read and researched seems to indicate plainly U.S. banks do, in fact, do business in Canada. I'll refrain from calling it a lie for right now, but it seems to be false. And he shares a Trump Truth Social post, which is over here. Canada doesn't allow American banks to do business in Canada, but their banks flood the American market. Oh, that seems fair to me, doesn't it? Stated Trump on Truth Social. And he posted it as a truth. Truth Social posts are called truths, so it must be the truth. But Popcorn's Thump Keg researched it, and he thinks it's a lie. But he'll refrain from calling it a lie for now. But it seems to be false. I don't know why he said that, and I don't know what the whole truth is. There may be stuff that you're not aware of, Popcorn. And I don't know. I can't comment. But thank you, man. Thank you. Lastly, all I can envision, I don't know why it matters, honestly, to me or him, but there's definitely issues between the U.S. and Canada, and Trump is going to fix it. Lastly, I can envision a day where the narrative from some people becomes that it's actually patriotic to pay a lot more for goods if it means buying American-made products, which is what people already have been saying for a long time. You got to pay more for American. You can't buy that cheap Chinese Harbor Freight stuff. People have been saying that. The same people who are enraged by higher prices seem to be going, let's give it time. Yeah, that's fair. That's true. What happened to on day one, or I'll end this war on day one? It's so easy. It could be, you could chalk that up to an exaggeration, you know? An exaggeration. Could chalk it up to an exaggeration because none of us necessarily took it literally that he would end the war on day one, in 24 hours that he would end the war, or that on day one the price is going down. On day one, the day he was elected, the value of the dollar went up, though. So in effect, stuff did get cheaper because your dollar was worth more. So there's a lot. So just calm yourself. Popcorn's Thump Keg. Linya and Shin with the super chat says, flip-flop is the toggling spirit of a gambler. Rolling the dice. And business itself is just a gambling game of assets versus liability in credit/debt, he claims. Lord Goodhair, thanks for letting me lobby your opinions as you play the role of my politician. Save those white baby engineers. Much salute. A salute to you. I don't guess you don't much salute. Salute to you, Lin Yen Chin. Thank you, man. And Rick in Hampton, VA. Rick, thank you for calling and holding, man. How you doing?
What's up, Brother James, man? What's happening with my brother James?
Not much, man.
La, la, la.
I'm glad I was able to get to you.
Cool, man. Thanks for taking my call, man. Man, I got several things I like to talk about, but I'm going to talk about one first.
All right.
Jasmine Rangatang Crockett.
Oh,
now,
Lord.
I always actually, you know.
What is up with these blacks who are calling other blacks apes and different things?
It's ridiculous. They get that false prophet.
No, I know, but what is up with you guys? You always use edgy words. But anyway, go ahead.
I just be joking, man.
All
Don't
right.
mean no harm, yeah, James.
Nice.
But but it's the thing about it. Wait, I mean, I was listening to Jesse's show and how people was defending their behavior.
Yeah.
I would like to ask them, how would you like if your son married one of them and brought him to your house and they was acting like that?
Yeah.
I mean, all the finger pointing just to let them know, I really think the Democrats use most black women to push godless agendas and to help keep the black community blind.
Yeah. True.
Because you think about the public school system, family members, neighborhoods, all of them have a chokehold. Black radio, the black politicians, all of them have a stranglehold on the black community because it keeps them in power.
Even one another, even family members and friends, black family members and friends will perform for one another. Perform as though there's this racism and I'm so liberal and I think for myself and thinking for myself leads me to support Obama and all kinds of stuff. And they will keep each other as crabs in the bucket of black delusion, of blackness. Yep. Terrible.
It's all about color and all that stuff, man. And it's even with tariffs, the black politicians has gotten black people to think that everything will go up. Well, when it was up with Biden, they kept it under the rug. But now that Trump is about to put tariffs on, of course they're going to make it go up. But Trump is doing it for a whole different reason.
Yep. And on top of it, he's using it as a weapon, as a tool to threaten tariffs in order to get a deal, and then you don't even necessarily have to impose those tariffs. So in some cases, we're going to have these tariffs, and they'll be permanent. In another, hopefully, right? The China tariffs, for example, that's making a lot of money right now. And then in other cases, they're not going to be, I use the term permanent loosely. In other cases, they won't be long-term tariffs at all. They're just a bargaining tool in order to get a better deal for America. So, calm yourselves, fearful people.
And it just, I don't know, man. It's like, so much rhetoric going around there, James.
Big time.
How would you know the truth? You got the biblical perspective, and then you got all the false accusations. How you know what is true, man?
Yeah. You don't. But the people think that they know the truth. Like you heard our friend from Baltimore, Stephen, 88 years old, repeating some liberal media line, Trump is in the pocket of Putin.
Oh, yeah.
So
I
dumb.
knew that came from CNN.
Yeah.
That's not true, man.
But he's just repeating dumb stuff, not thinking for himself.
Right.
And not even questioning or noticing that he doesn't actually know what the truth is, what's really going on between them.
Most blacks get their information from the media. That's what they keep repeating over and over and over and over and over. They repeat it so much, man, that they truly believe it.
Yeah. Yep.
And they truly believe it because
I got to run, Rick. I'm sorry. I just realized that I'm at 5 minutes till. Man, it's good talking with you.
But real quick, though, Trump just got the tariffs out to make Canada and Mexico play by the rules, man.
That's
They
right.
ripping us off. That's
Yep.
it.
Take care, Rick. Good to hear from you, man.
Okay, love y'all. Y'all be good. I'll tune in tomorrow.
Sounds good. It is Wiley Wednesday on a Thursday, guys. Where will I go when I die? 1988. My childhood Christian rap. I hope you like it.
A friend of mine was shot yesterday. They took him to the hospital right away. I got there in a hurry. They said, don't worry. When they took him into surgery, his vision was blurry. The next thing I knew, the doctor came out. I say, hey, doc, what is this all about? He said,
I'm sorry, young man. We did all we could.
A feeling came over me that was not good. I shook my head. I almost cried when I asked what he said before he died. The doc looked at me. He gave this reply.
Your friend said, where do I go when I die?
Whoa.
Where do I go when I die?
Where will I go when I die? People ask the question with no reply, singing, where will I go when I die? Where will I go?
That question stuck in my head like a knife. Why'd he wait till he was about to lose his life? He waited too long to deal with the issue. His mother walked in, I handed her a tissue and said, I'm sorry, but Daryl didn't make it. She busted out loud, she just couldn't take it. His final words are still ringing in my head, but I can't tell him now because Daryl is dead.
Where will I go when I die? Where will I go when I die? People ask the question with no reply, saying, where will I go when I die? Where will I go? Sorry, it's muffled.
Where will I go? I will never forget what happened that day. I guess I always thought Daryl was okay, but he didn't know that Jesus Christ died on the cross. He had no faith, and now he's lost. In hell forever, it won't be fun. Why didn't I tell him about God's Son, who died so that we can be forgiven? Those who don't believe in Jesus won't be living in heaven forever, where it will be great. But why did Daryl decide to wait?
Where will I go when I die? Where will I go when I die? People ask the question with no reply, saying, where will I go when I die? Where will I go?
Where will I go?
Isn't that nice?
There are many like Daryl who wait too long. They figure, what? The Bible, I bet it's wrong. So they wait and say, I'm still alive. Don't give him that Christianity jive. Just like Daryl, they're gonna see that each of us will live eternally with God in heaven or in hell with the devil. And that's God's word, and he's on the level. God tells the straight, so don't hesitate. Like Daryl, who thought that he could wait.
Where will I go when I die? Where will I go when I die? People ask the question with no reply, saying, where will I go when I die? This is cool. Thank you, man. Where will I go when I die? People ask the question with no reply, saying, where will I go when I die? Where will I go when I die? Where will I go when I die? People ask the question with no reply, saying, where will I go when I die? Well, thank you guys for bearing with me through that. Sorry it was muffled. That's the only thing I could find on the internet. I can't find my cassette tape. It was not even a CD. Bye, guys. Take care. See ya on Joel's stream. Bye.